Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. Guys and gals, welcome back to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. This time we are entering the Link era. Reigns, I think, is what it's called. But the reason why I look like this is because I'm gonna go to the gym right after recording these, so don't flame my drip. I know it's lacking always, every time. But yeah, we're starting with the Link era, and we're starting with it by doing the same as I think we've done the couple past times, which is just combining the first 2 starter decks that they have released, and these are some of the last starter decks that Konami has ever actually done, which is Link, Strike, and Codebreaker. So there's going to be a lot of stuff here that we already know about, but a lot of the monsters are new, because the Link era introduced a new monster type, the Cybers type. And we will start with Backup Secretary, which we have 3 copies of. If you control a Cybers monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon. It's a hard once per turn, basically. If you have multiple of these, you can only special one of them per turn this way. And a lot of these, as you'll now see, more than ever, we're just trying to have stuff that we can swarm the field with, that can special summon itself, so we can do some Link plays. We'll cover the extra deck in a little bit. Widget Kid, if this card normal or special summon, you can special summon a Cybers monster from your hand in defense position. You can only use the effect of, once again, hard once per turn. Then we have a Cybers White Hat, a level 6, but if you control 2 or more monsters with the same type, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Cybers White Hat once per turn this way if this card is sensitive. Why do I have... I don't know what happened with OBS Studio, where it doesn't automatically give me the streamer mode now when I boot it up, but yeah, sorry for those notifications. Those were me getting harassed, not you. That's my bad. But what Cybers White Hat, if you control 2 or more monsters with the same type, it's going to be Cybers. You can spawn this card from your hand, and once again, hard once per turn. If this card is sent to a graveyard as Link material, you can make all monsters your opponent controls currently lose 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. It's a relatively big booty you can summon, but once again, like, it's just a thing we can summon to a Link line with. And we're basically only running Cybers monsters in addition to a couple other ones. So Cybers White Hat should be good. And it doesn't even matter if you have other stuff as well, as long as you have 2 or more monsters with the same type. It even works for something like Scapegoat, which is really neat. Then we have Link Slayer. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's just a 100 attack less having a Cyber Dragon. And once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards and target that many spell traps on the field and pop them. Just a one-off, because obviously we don't want to see this too often. We would like to see this when going second in our opening hand, but like this, it's fine, but we have access to spell trap removal anyway, so not too bad. Then we have Dragonet. When this card is normal summon, you can spell summon a level 2 or lower normal monster from in the hand or deck in defense position, and that's what we're running Bitron for. Bitron is what we'll be summoning off the Dragonet. Then we have Marshmallow, can be destroyed by battle after damage calculation if this card would attack and was in face down. At the start of the damage step, the attacking player takes 1,000 damage. There's a good amount of removal and negation and all sorts of ways to deal with this, but still, if our opponent doesn't happen to find those things, there's an extra body on the field as well. Same thing kind of with Battle Fader. When your opponent wants to declare direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand and Battle Phase, and then it gets banished when it leaves the field. But once again, Puts come from battle damage, ends the battle phase, so it's once again a body on the field that Jeexx would need to use removal for, which I don't think you want to use removal for Battle Fader. So, yeah, but we have seen Battle Fader area as well. Then we had Signet Universe at a single copy. I have 2 more in the side just in case. All link monster you control gain 300 attack. Once per day you can target a monster in the grave, several it in the deck. If this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, send all monsters in the extra monster zones to the graveyard. This drawback is kinda what I don't like about this, but because like all of our like big things are gonna come from the extra deck. And we know that we're both on a very similar deck, obviously, because we both have access to the same starters. I feel like the 300 attack might actually end up mattering more than we might assume. So that's why I'm running a Signet Universe, just to maybe find it. Then the Scapegoat. Scapegoat, like I said, like it works for Cyber's White Hat, which is really neat, but also obviously just Scapegoat in the linker, like it's good. Unfortunately, a lot of the stuff needs specifically effect or Cyber's monsters, but we can still use these tokens to make Link Aruba or Link Spider, or to just simply stall for a turn and hopefully get back from there. Triple Monster Reborn, free extension as long as we have anything in the grave, so makes sense to me. Forbidden Lands, target one face monster on the field on the end of turn. That target loses 800 attack, but is unaffected by the effects of other spell traps. Maybe we can use this to push for damage when we're negated by something like Fiendish Chain, but like more than that, like it's there to protect us from stuff like Compulse, Mirror Force, Bottomless, Torrential. Like there's a bunch of like good back row here. MST, obviously we know what MST does. Like I said, lots of good back row, so that's why we have that. Bottomless, I was thinking like between Bottomless and Torrential, ended up going with Bottomless because like a lot of the stuff goes under Bottomless, which is the issue. Actually, now when I mentioned that, Backup Secretary and Dragonet both going under Bottomless is kind of annoying. So, you know what? We'll do this instead. We'll throw in double Torrential and then a Bottomless Trap Hole. I feel like this just makes more sense. To me, it was like I can Bottomless the Link monsters that he's going. Actually, yeah, I guess the idea was that I can Bottomless the Link monsters that he's going into. But... and it vanishes. Sorry. I think this is the first, but yeah, we'll go with this. This can banish the Link monsters that he goes into, because like the scary stuff here is stuff like Decode Talker and Transcall Talker, obviously. But Torrential, it can just blow up the whole board, but obviously we both have Recursion there, so can still do stuff. And Compulse, just a simple way to remove stuff. I don't really... Is there a reason for me to run Compulse like this over Bottomless? You know what? I think this just makes more sense, right? I'm making so many changes now. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think this makes more sense. I don't know why my initial idea was Compulse. I was like, yeah, Compulse is there just to easily deal with the Link monsters, but like there's not really much to protect things from destruction. Like it's literally just Forbidden Lands, which I guess like Forbidden Lands is actually, yeah, it doesn't matter because it's unaffected. Yeah, never mind. I was literally like, now when I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, Forbidden Lands is the reason, but never mind, it doesn't even matter for that. Obviously finishing also, like it can help you with bouncing your own stuff, but at that point, like, might as well just blow up the board. But yeah, Finish Chain, there to negate anything, mostly once again for the Link monsters, and we have another copy of this in the side as well, and then just a one-off Mirror Force just to have it as a deterrent, so like Jeexx at least has to consider it when he's going into the battle phase. And then like for the side deck, we have just extra copies of everything, a Dark Hole there as well, extra copy of Scapegoat, Forbidden Lands, Signet Universe, all the like good traps, and then we just have a single Call of the Haunted if we really want even more extension. But I think like a lot of the stuff like from the hand, and already we have 3 Monster Reborn, I don't think like it should be necessary. But we also do have a Marauding Captain here, because obviously Marauding Captain can summon another Marauding Captain to create the battle phase lock. But the thing about like why I didn't feel like I needed to main deck this is because obviously Widget Kid summons like other cyber stuff, Backup Secretary can summon itself as long as we have basically any of our other cards. Like Link Slayer is there just as a starter, Cybers is there as a later extended at once Cybers monsters, and would need like specifically 2 Marauding Captain, and Dragonet and Bitron like they go alongside each other. So I feel like Marauding Captain isn't really necessary and doesn't really do that much. Because even like something like Macaron, like, okay, it's fine. But with Marauding Captain, like, what are we actually wanting to summon? As for the extra deck though, which is definitely the highlight, let's start with the higher tier stuff. We are Link 3s. We have Transcode Talker and Decode Talker. Both of them take 2+ effect monsters. And I guess this is if you're somehow here and don't know about Link Summoning. So Link Summoning is literally, you just need the materials listed here to use them as material. What 2+ effect monsters means, you need to have 3 monsters to summon a Link 3. Or, because it says 2+, you can have a Link 2 and a then whatever monster. Because the Link 2 counts for 2 of the 3 links for the Link summoning, you know. And, but even if you have a Link 3, you still need another monster. But Link summoning is the most, like, generic way of summoning from the extra deck. For Transcode Talker, while it's co-linked, and its co-linked monster gain 500 attack, and your opponent cannot target any of them with card effects. And you can target a Link 3 or lower Cyber's Link monster in your graveyard, except Transcode Talker, special to your zone discard points to, doesn't negate it, and you cannot special summon monsters that you activate this except Cyber's monsters. Which also obviously means that you can also special summon only Cyber's monsters. But it doesn't matter, because what we want to be summoning off this is Decode Talker. Gives 500 attack for each monster it points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect, the target is card you control. As a quick effect, you contribute a monster this can point to, negate the activation, and destroy the card. Very good. Notable here though, it points upwards, which means there's a chance for it to point to an opponent's monster. You cannot tribute the opponent's monster for this effect, because like you can't tribute your opponent's monsters unless like some other cards let you do that, but it's in game rules. It's weird that it's here, and you would, at least me, initially I thought like, oh, you can tribute your opponent's stuff as well. That's neat. But no, you can't. I checked that. But basically, you want to summon Decode Talker usually first, and then after Decode Talker, like, goes to a grave, you're gonna recreate with Transcode Talker. Transcode Talker goes in the extra monster zone, and then underneath that you have Decode Talker. Now you have two 3300 beaters, neither of whom can be targeted with card effects. And that, like, the targeting part is what's actually scary here, but obviously stuff like Mirror Force, it doesn't target. So that's why it's nice to have stuff like Forbidden Lands, and why I might want to have more. Then we have Pentastag. Pentastag takes 2 effect monsters and gives your linked monster, piercing. But most importantly, it just, once again, like, gives you another extra monster zone, essentially. Then we have Honeybot, takes 2 Cyber's monsters, neither player can target monsters, this card points to a card effect, and those cannot be destroyed by battle. It's kind of whatever. It's mostly just worse because of the worse arrows than Pentastag, but it is there to give us, once again, like a link to a way to climb. Link Haribo takes 1 level 1 monster. We can make this with Battle Fader or our Scapegoat tokens. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can tribute this card, change the opponent's monster to 0, and until the end of turn. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can tribute a level 1 monster to special summon this card. And you can only use this effect of Link Herbo once per turn. And the thing that's neat about this, this is obviously you can when you're special summoning Link monster from the grave, you don't have to summon them to an extra monster zone. And finally, Link Spider takes 1 normal monster. We're making this with either Betron or the Scapegoat tokens. And of course, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from your hand to a zone this card points to. It's nice if we happen to like lose our Draconets, or we happen to have like extra Betrons in our hand. Then this way we can use a Betron or a Scapegoat token, go into Link Spider, use Link Spider to summon the Betron, then we can use those two to link for a Link 2 and go from there. But yeah, it still ended up being 13 minutes. I don't know how. I'm really bad at this point. We should all know this. But hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you enjoyed Jeexx's deck breakdown as well. It'll be interesting to see how similar our decks are, if we can like very different routes. But I think for the most part, like, they should be pretty similar. But regardless, we will see you after Jeexx's breakdown in the dueling zone.
Okay, so we're doing starter decks. Rains, woohoo! So, as we all know, the good days are gone, The good era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is past us. There are no more good eras left. It's all downhill from here, guys. It's truly unfortunate, but we're entering the Link era. The era where when they released the starter decks were out of stock. Because you needed to buy at least one of the starter decks to get access to Link monsters to be able to play any of your decks at the time. Because you weren't guaranteed to get any from the booster packs, so you might as well get the starters. I don't actually remember if they ended up going out of stock in most places. I remember we were out of stock at one point because everybody bought 3. Everybody got 3. And, well, people were usually just sharing the cards, so it was kind of fine. But, you know, it was kind of a sad time. Like, I've played through a couple of eras of, like, full resets of card games now. I played through, well, not really full eras in the sense that I played through Vanguard G. Like, Vanguard, the G era, as in everything from the first set to the end of the G era. Where then the V era came in, and the V era practically invalidated my entire decks, like all of my decks, in the sense that, well, now we have the same cards, but they just have more text on them, and they have bigger numbers on them, so they're better, and you just want to play those instead of the old versions you got. Basically, my decks were old and busted and worthless, and the new cards were the new hotness, obviously. And in comparison, I think Reigns feels similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! As going from G to V felt for Vanguard, in the sense that, well, I can't play my decks now. I just need to wait for Konami to print me a card that lets me play my deck. Like, I can't make shit. I can't summon 2 heroes out? What do you mean? What do you mean I need to have extra monster zones and linked monster zones? That's so stupid. But yep. It's what it is. Master Rule 5 fixed a lot of the issues that I personally had with this, and we're gonna get there eventually, and that's the Master Rule we're still on, guys, so you should know what that is. But, yeah. To start off, we have Backup Secretary, just a fairly common staple around this time for Cyberse decks, because it was good for flooding. You summon a Cyberse monster, you summon a Backup Secretary, you make bada bing bada boom. You can only summon one of them once per turn, it's whatever. You can summon one off of another, so it basically fuels itself. Playing 3 of them would make sense, but I think I'm just gonna play 2 because I have way too many good cards in this. I have Battle Fader in here to stall the game out and for Link Rebo material. Bit Trooper for using Battle Fader or Text Changer or even Bitron if they happen to be in my hand for material to summon itself out. And then Cyberse White Hat, if I happen to control 2 monsters of the same type, I can special summon it. And then if this card is into the graveyard as a link material, all monsters your opponent currently control lose 1000 attack until the end of this turn. This card is pretty good overall with Scapegoat in the set, and, well, obviously with all the Cyberse cards that are in the set. Well, not set, but like deck. And then we have Draconnect, which is you can normal summon, when you normal summon, you can special summon a level 2 or lower normal monster from your deck in defense position. So basically, these Draconnects with Bitron, or hand or deck, not just deck, lead to a Link 2 every time. And then we have Launcher Commander, tribute a Cyberse monster to destroy a card your opponent controls. Link Slayer, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this, and you can discard up to 2 cards, then target that many spell traps on the field and destroy them. Not a quick effect. Ram Clouder, you can tribute 1 monster, then target a monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Text Changer, once per turn, when your monsters target for an attack, you can negate that attack, and then special summon 1 Cyberse, normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Widget Kit, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon 1 Cyberse monster from your hand in defense position, essentially just Goblinberg. Bitron, a normal monster. Book of Moon. Book of Moon is like one of those cards that I think this is the year where Book of Moon got off the list finally. Might be mistaken on that. But Book of Moon loses so much power here from here on out because Link monsters cannot be turned face down. So now your opponent's really strong, really relevant monsters can no longer be flipped face down, which means that Book of Moon basically becomes inferior to compulsory, bottomless, fiendish, negating the effect as a whole, doing anything else to... Oh, it's 2020, it's not 2018, it's 2017. But yeah, me personally, I think Book of Moon is still kind of useful. We were discussing this yesterday during like when I was making this deck, where it's still useful enough for dealing with cards that are used for Link material, because it makes it so that those cards are unusable for Link material due to the fact that Link summoning still an inherent form of summoning, which makes it so that you cannot use face down cards for that. Don't ask me why. But yeah. Pokemon, still kind of playable, but we'll see how that fares here. Especially because we got a lot of links in this. Only links, we don't have any XYZs to synchro, so. 2 Dark Holes, a lot of flooding. Scapegoat exists. If you're playing, we're both gonna be playing Scapegoat. There's 0 chance we're not playing Scapegoat, right? Forbidden Lands, obviously to make it so that you have some stuff that can be unaffected by Dark Hole or Torrential Tribute or even Bottomless. Monster Reborn, because obviously like Monster Reborn in this is really strong. There's a lot of cards that you would want to come back. Scapegoat, I don't think we need to talk about Scapegoat. Supply Squad, if a monster is destroyed by battle or card effect. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, draw 1 card. Pretty good. Like, this card is pretty good because it doesn't require the card to be sent to the graveyard. Torrential Tribute triggers it. You can trigger it yourself. It essentially turns destroyed cards. When your opponent's destroying a single card, it changes that from being a 1-for-1 to being a -1 essentially, because you gain card advantage in that situation. So it's gonna be rare to see, I imagine rare to see Weebfox actually going for 1-for-1s if this is on board. Bottomless, Fiendish Chain, Jar of Avarice to recycle pretty much all of this stuff. I don't have a second copy, but I think you could probably play a second copy and be a bit better just for recycling your Scapegoats, recycling your Monster Reborns, recycling your monster supply squads, your Disruption, and so on. Torrential Tributes, Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is in this deck itself, which is crazy. Double checking that though, because I remember looking at this being like, that can't be right. No, it is. Yeah, it is definitely in the set. Right. Then we have 3 Raikou, 3 Effect Veiler, because I think this is gonna be pretty good for game 2. If I have to go, if I get to choose to go first, set Raikou T set pass is not bad. Going first or going second, I want to be full aggro, so I don't want to be playing Raikou in my main deck here. Pokemon. 1 more copy of Pokemon in case I happen to feel like it's more impactful than I think. 2 more copies of Lands in case Weebfox happens to be playing a lot of Disruption that I can deal with. Like, Lands allows me to circumvent the effect of Fiendish Chain for a turn, which is huge. It's massive. It allows me, as I talked about it, prevent myself from getting popped with Torrential, and also prevent me from popping myself with Dark Hole or having Weebfox popping with Dark Hole. Then yeah, the rest are just like 3 ofs for stuff in the deck. Then we have the Link monsters, the thing that you bought this shit for. You have Decode Talker, which is a Link 3 with 2+ effect monster requirements. Gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card you control, you can tribute 1 monster this card points to, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Double checking, what did Scapegoat say? Can it be tributed for a tribute summon? That's kind of a big deal, by the way. But yeah, Honeybot, neither play can target monsters this card points to with card effects, and those monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Link Spider, 1 normal monster, you can spell summon a level 4 or lower normal monster from your hand to a zone this card points to. Link Karibo, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can tribute this card, change that opponent's monster to 0 until the end of this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can tribute 1 level 1 monster and special summon this card, and you can only use this effect with Link Karibo once per turn. These are level 1 tokens, so you can tribute them for Link Karibo, for example. Obviously, you can't do that on the turn that you're summoning them, but still, it's pretty relevant for, like, using this for making Decode Talkers if you don't have Link Spiders anymore. If you just need ways of reusing your Scapegoat tokens, it's overall big. Same like you can make this using the Scapegoat tokens. I'm currently running Link Spiders and this because I have 3 of these, because I think this is the best way I can actually get use out of this. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Pentastag, if your linked monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. This is for any linked monster, so it doesn't matter if it's linked to this thing or if it's just linked in general. And then we have Transcode Talker. While this card is co-linked, it is co-linked, and its co-linked monster gain 500 attack. Also, your opponent can target them with any card effects. You can target one Link 3 or lower linked monster in your graveyard, except Transcode Talker, and special summon it to your zone this card points to. You cannot special summon monsters this turn that you activate this effect, except Cyber's monsters. So essentially, you summon out Decode Talker gets fucked. You summon out Transcode Talker, then you summon out Decode Talker using Transcode Talker, and now you have 2 beefy boys. This thing is like 3.3k. You can negate shit, and you can't target these 2, and they both have like huge attack. But yeah, that about does it. Oh boy, we're like actually in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Arguably now. Like not quite, obviously. Like we're Master Rule 4 still. There's a lot of archetypes that people recognize with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That aren't out yet, but more so even than when we went from the Zexal era to the Arc V era, from Primal Origin to not new challenges, Duelist Alliance. This is like gonna be a massive leap in terms of how the game itself is gonna be played, especially with the hand traps that exist now going forward. But yeah, good luck with the games.
Ladies and lads, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey and welcome to the Link era. The reigns or V-reigns or Link reigns, whatever you want to call it. The fifth era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Question mark?
It's Arc V is 5. Right?
Oh, you know what? That does make a lot of sense. So yeah, the sixth era of Yu-Gi-Oh! And
it's VR Ains, so you know. I don't know why it's VR Ains, but you know.
Because it's the main character from Overlord in virtual reality. And we have our extra monsters on us back. Getting used to this layout again is going to be so strange. And yeah, we're doing Codebreaker as well as Link Strike today. So we combined once again the 31st starters. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you. And in true starter deck fashion, for my first turn, I will simply set 2 cards and pass.
Alrighty then, chat room. We will start off by going standby, main. I would like to special summon from my hand Link Slayer in attack position.
The Cyber Dragon, 17 years later, that is also weaker than Cyber Dragon. But obviously it has stuff it can do. Yep.
Then,
that is fine.
I would like to declare the effect of Link Slayer. Discard a card from my hand. Discarding up to 2 cards from my hand and targeting this spell trap on the field.
Yep, it is a torrential tribute.
Then, I would like to check my extra deck. Watch it. Push.
Play the theme song. I don't know what the theme song is of the protagonist from the Link era anime, but play his theme song when we get our first Link summon.
I would like to special summon from my hand as I control a Cyber's monster. Black Secretary.
Yippee! That is okay.
And then I would like to normal summon from my hand Big Trooper in attack position.
Let's go,
then,
Big Trooper.
I would like to send back Secretary, Big Trooper, and Link Slayer to the graveyard to special summon Deco Tucker in attack position.
There it is.
We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We can pack it up now. Whee! Then I swing into this, and I didn't summon it here because I'm stupid, but whatever.
That's fine.
It's Ryko anyway, so.
It is a marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Damn.
So take your 1,000 points of damage.
And then I set 1, and I set 2, and we can't pendulum summon no more.
So you can set them in your pendulum scale. So I see. All right. Well, to get us started, it would be funny though.
Kaiju.
To get us started, I will Gamasiel your Deco Talker. So fuck you.
Wait, how is that in here?
I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think we will start.
Both things.
I am thinking. Sure. We'll start with a Monster Reborn.
A Monster Reborn.
And I would like to grab your Link Sareya. Is this okay?
Oh. Yes, that is okay.
Alright. Then I would like to declare the effect. Discarding... fuck it. 2 cards to target both of these.
I would like to activate in response the in this chain, targeting your Link Slayer.
Yeah, that is fine.
Negate its effect.
I would like to then normal summon Draconets.
Oh, well.
and I would like to declare the effects if that is okay.
That is okay. That's okay.
All right, and we will get out a Bitron. Then we will link. How do I want to do this is the question.
I think if you're gonna go for Decode Talker, you should go for Bitron, Marshmallow, and Draconic, because then you can leave the Link Slayer on the board.
Because the thing is, it needs to be this. Yeah, I will link my Bitron for a Link Spider.
A Link Spider.
Anything on the summon of Spooder?
Nothing on the summon of the Spooder.
Alright, and then I will declare another Link summon, and I will use Link Spider as well as Draconet and a Marshmallow to summon out my own Decode Talker. Anything on the summon of Decode?
In response to Decode Talker, I would like to activate Bottomless Trap Hole.
Alrighty, it will get... actually...
Oh, no, it doesn't target. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It gets banished.
No, that was such a good turn, though.
It would have been, but you just... That's the issue with this, where like a lot of the power is in the back row, and if one just opens the back row, one doesn't, then it's gonna be tough. Because now, like, one card combos without like Draconet are gonna be hard to get anything done with, so it might just be a Decode Talker beat off.
Look how that's 800 damage.
Yeah, 800.
And then 1.8.
Nothing I can obviously do about that.
And then that is true. Okay. Well, this goes to this Battle Fader.
No Vader.
It's just in your graveyard. Okay, that's good at least. I could swap out the Ram Cloud here, but I think that keeping the Ram Cloud as is kind of whatever. It's just I'm just shooting for nothing. I think the Link Slayer, like that was really ballsy. Or overall, it was unfortunate that I happened to having this shine.
I think. I mean, I need to do this right.
Question?
Yeah, I literally need to do this because it's the only way I'm living. So I will normal summon Widget Kid and use the effect of Widget Kid to summon out Cyber's White Hat.
Yeah.
Then we will link these two off. Both of your monsters will lose 1,000 until the end of this turn.
This turn. Yeah.
And then I will go into Honeypot because I need something that can actually beat over Decode Talker. So I will go over Decode Talker for 100 points of damage.
Yep.
And then that'll be it.
I would like to go standby, main, tributing my Ram Clouder for Decode Talker.
Yep.
And then I would like to attack into the Honeybot.
I will take 400.
400. And then I will set one card and pass. This is like the entire opposite of last set. This instead, like the Battles of Legend set, because in Battles of Legend, yeah, we had we didn't have any back row whatsoever. Like there was nothing in that set that you could play, but all the monsters were giga cracked, and you could just play stuff in Legacy.
All of your monsters were giga cracked. I was playing Super Heavy Samurai.
Yeah, come on, man. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like there was anti-spell fragrance in there and whatnot, but still.
I think the difference is that now we're basically playing with the same decks, and back then we were not playing with the same decks.
Don't want to activate it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. I think
actually, if you activate it, then it does. Yeah, if you activate it, then Validator doesn't get banished. I don't think you want to activate it.
No, I don't want to activate it.
Yeah. But I mean, if you just need a monster in your 3 monsters, and that's that.
I mean, activate Monster Born.
Yep.
And special summon out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm going to do a couple things, so I will pause the recording for just a little bit. Let's try that again. I will still elect to go first.
Oh, wait. That's a hand.
Yeah, right there with ya. I will set 3 and pass.
Oh. Well, I would like to special summon Link Slayer.
This time I do have the bottomless for it.
Okay.
Do you have another one?
Let's go. I would like to normal summon Draconect.
Yeah, Draconite is fine.
Is this okay?
Yeah,
I would like to special summon Bittron.
Bittron is fine.
Would like to summon out a Link monster. Summoning out. Starting out with Link Spider. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Then,
yep.
I would like to go into battle phase. I would like to attack using my Link Spider for 1000.
I will take the 1k.
I would like to attack with my Draconect 1400.
I will take the 14.
Go in main phase 2. Think for a moment.
Yep.
I would like to set 3. Pass. Camp Pendulums.
Always have to establish that. Actually, yeah, I'll do this in your end phase. I'll just get my token.
Oh, you have that in mind? I see how it is. Criminal.
Then, since I have 2 or more beasts, I would like to summon out a Cyber's White Hat from my hand.
That is okay. That's okay.
Then we need to start thinking. I mean, what's the
Cyber's White Hat is so funny, I think, because it's like this card like solely exists for playing pure Cybers, but the odds of you actually activating it off of a scapegoat in this format is way higher.
It is pretty funny. Now the thing here is that what's the likelihood of you not having Torrential in one of your 3 back row? And I think it's 0.
Glueless.
We will.
I mean, what if you make Link Spider here
will
and then you
make
summon out Honeybomb?
Link Spider.
Yeah.
We don't have a target for a Link Spider here, unfortunately. Then I will. I will use another one of my tokens.
Make another Link Spider.
To summon out.
Oh, Link Karibo works too.
Link Karibo. This might be the fucking dumbest shit of all time, but I could protect my fucking token with Honeybot, which would be really funny. But I mean,
that would be kind of base.
If you have it, we do need to get through it anyway, so I will just use these 3 to go into a decal talker.
I would like to activate a bottomless trap hole in
Yeah.
response to your decode talker.
That is fine. And oh yeah, decal talker gets banished, but Link Spider goes to 0 and Dragonet goes to 400. Not like it matters, but you know, it might.
Yeah, it could actually. Like, you could actually have a normal sum on this turn, so you still have things you can do.
Yeah. I think I don't love it, but I will remove one of my tokens to make another Link Spider.
Yep.
And then, oh god.
Bro's already played more cards in this one turn than we did in the entirety of the Duel Monsters era.
Yes.
It's insane. So anyway, guys, so I was thinking of for my OU team to be running a Cloister, a Net, a Caesar, a Salament. Oh yeah, scavenger.
Yeah, for what, 600? Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, if you're fine, I would like to activate this before that.
I gained the 300 as well.
You control.
Oh, it's only you.
Yeah, and it's not a
Oh
Link
wait, it doesn't even matter
anyway.
because it's all Link
Yeah.
monster. I was thinking of Cybers for some reason. Yeah,
Yeah,
extra
yeah, yeah.
300.
There might be one like that as well, because
There's the other one
an
that
insurance.
all World Chalice monsters say. Game. That's what I was thinking.
I'll use it once per turn effect to shuffle back my Link Spider. This is mostly here to alleviate. Can you go back to mine? Thank you.
Yep.
Then main 2. I mean, a Dragonet is big enough to beat over this thing, which is kind of the issue. But. You know what? Screw it. We'll use the token. Summon out a Linkaribo.
Yeah.
And. I will end on that.
I would like to, in your end phase, activate Escape and Go.
Go for it.
Summoning out 4 tokens. In defense position.
A lot of
And I shall
tokens.
take my turn.
Not even saving the spot underneath Link Spider to link someone I can't. This guy doesn't play Link monsters. Oh, so I see. Alright. Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'll just play for both of us.
What? No, I'm literally gonna just link it off immediately, little bro.
I'll torrential on that.
That is okay. Yep. And then I would like to activate a Jar of Avarice to shuffle 5 cards from my graveyard back into my deck and draw 1 card.
Go for it.
We will be placing a Link Spider, a Scapegoat, Dragonet, Bottomless, and Vitron back in the decks, pulling and drawing a card. Then I would like to set 1 card and normal summon Rigid Kid to swing for 1.5 and pass.
Huge.
Huge! Putting you on the timer, buddy.
That is true.
Getting clocked in the face by this kid, bro.
I will shuffle back with my once per turn my Linkaribo. And that tells me that you probably don't have another monster yet. I will pass.
Alrighty then, stand by main. I would like to Activate Monster Reborn
Mm-hmm.
to special summon out Cyber's White Hat in attack position.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would like to go into combat, attacking 1.5 and 1.8.
Yep.
And then I would like to... Let me see. There's thing I can do here, right? No. Pass.
Alright, draw standby main. Once per turn effect, we will shuffle back Spooder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will Dark Hole.
Yep.
Then I will set one and pass.
A normal summon. Big Tron. Attack.
Ow! the 4-turn clock.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
No.
sure, I'll just shuffle the...
I
was
don't
genuinely
know if that's worth
considering
it.
Cyber's white hat for so you don't...
Monster Born.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think shuffling Link Rebos are worth this back. Because as long as you have like one of them in the graveyard, you can pretty much always get them back, right? But you can always use them as a quick effect as well when you have scapegoat tokens on the board, for example, to get at reduction to 0, for example.
Yep.
That's why I think keeping one in the graveyard would be worth.
But yeah, I will shuffle back a Link Rubo.
Yep. Yeah. I would like to activate the squad.
Yep.
I would like to go combat attack for 200. Oh, no mirror force. I see how it's in place.
No mirror force is actually funny.
We're about to activate Fiendish. Oh, you can't even activate Fiendish Shane on my big Tron. Damn.
Do not test me.
You can't. It's impossible. There has to be an effect monster.
Do not test me. I will make it an effect monster.
Damn. I don't know if there's anything in the game that actually makes a normal monster into an effect monster.
I mean,
Even
I
if you
don't
give
know
it an
what...
effect, it doesn't become one.
I don't know what that is, but honestly, at this point, I'm the most afraid of you getting a monster reborn, so...
I would like to go into combat. Attack for 200. Set one pass. Um, 200.
Like I said, I can't believe I need to battle fader a Bitron, but this is the world we live in.
That is why I would like to end my turn.
Sure, I wonder
Special
if I should
summon.
have done that instead. I mean, whatever.
Backup secretary. Torrential Tribune. Supply squad. I draw one card.
Yep, you get a draw.
I special summon Link Slayer. Yeah, that doesn't give me a draw. Then I would like to set and pass.
Fuck. Oh, like give me a summonable a monster here.
In face, scapegoat.
Yep.
Stand by main. Remove one of the tokens. Summon out a Link Spider. Then tribute one of the tokens to summon out a Link Spider.
Mm-hmm.
And then tribute one of the tokens to summon out a Link Kuriboh.
You don't have a field to summon it.
I have a
Oh,
field to
it was
summon
the
from
grave
graveyard.
thing. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yes.
The animation, yeah.
That's why I also think it's worth to keep one open.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, I draw kinda doo-doo And I guess
That
it hurts
was some shit.
it hurts the most in like when both of us have like similar payoffs. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to see like the definitive power play in this set, which is transcode, get back, decode.
Yeah, I mean,
But I guess
I
when
feel
there's
like
so much like good back row, it's so hard to get to that point.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I could have gone for it this turn. Wait, I go for. I use the Link Spider and the Linkery Bow to make a honeypot, and then I use the token to make. No, I can't make a second
Yeah, I
Linkery.
think you're. The issue is because
Yeah, I would
like
need 2 Link 2s and 1 Link 1.
yeah, and the issue is that you can't make like link twos with the tokens, and you would need to basically alleviate so much of your extra deck space for the like link rainbows and link spiders. Even then, like you need to beforehand like get the link rainbows in the actual way. It doesn't even matter because the hard points per turn. Yeah, I don't even.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can like even get though. It literally needs to be like you earlier go into decode talker and then like on a later turn you just go into transcode.
Yeah, which I imagine is what they did in the anime too.
Most likely, yeah.
Right? Like code playmaker summons out decode talker and it's like, haha, how will you defeat my decode talker? He is the most powerful ace monster in all of Reigns. And then the guy goes like, I kill it. And then he goes like, how could you destroy this? And then suddenly next turn he's like, but you failed to account for this one possibility where I manifest a new card out of my fucking ass. I summon out Transcode Talker. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? But yeah.
We had 6 cards that were different in our decks.
Okay.
That's
was
funny.
it Supply Squad?
Yeah, Supply Squad, Jar, Bit Trooper, Ram Clouder, Text Changer, and Book of Moon. I wasn't playing.
All right. So Book of Moon, we were talking about this with Cloudy because I was like, Book of Moon is surprisingly weak from here on out, right? But Cloudy brought an argument up where it's a really strong tool for disrupting like crucial link material.
Link climbing.
Where it's like, that's true. Yeah, like in this specific format, preventing you from link climbing with stuff like Cyber's White Hat is huge. Like this card is a huge deal. So flipping this face down so you can't use it for link material is actually really big. Whereas like most of the other stuff in this is just completely irrelevant. Right?
I mean, I guess it buys your turn. But I don't think it's that relevant for White Hat specifically because you need like nothing beats over White Hat unless you get a boost, which is the issue there. So it's like you buy yourself a turn, which I guess is nice, but like I think in most cases with that, like I would rather than have like some sort of removal. But
I mean, I already have like capped out removal pretty much. I'm not.
Yeah, I guess like if you have extra slots, then yeah. I just went for
that was mostly the idea that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to run into a situation where it was something that couldn't be used. For example, Bottomless is a really solid card in this because it deals with Decode Talker, it deals with Transcode Talker, Cyber's White Hat, and deals with a lot of the other stuff you can just summon out.
Yes,
but then there's also the problem of you can pretty much play under it if you're going for like Decode Talker and you happen to have Forbidden Lands. Like Forbidden Lands just deals with anything that Bottomless can do. Obviously, same with Book of Moon, but Book of Moon can be used to disrupt the climbing process already. Yep. Although, if you just scapegoat, it doesn't matter because this thing just dies to scapegoat pretty much because you can then use your tokens to go into links and links can't be turned face down. And then becomes kind of like, okay, is Book of Moon worth playing? Disrupt the link climbing with the normal like actual like effect monsters, or is it more worth to play Forbidden Lands to just have more protection for my stuff? And I ended up landing on the side of Book of Moon is better because I have more disruption in this format where we're playing even, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that means it can do more things. Supply Squad is a card that I feel like could be pretty strong, solely because the fact that you have scapegoats and it doesn't need to go to the graveyard, so your goats get popped by either torrential or attacking into them or whatever. I get to draw, and your 1-for-1s become -1s essentially, and even going like 2-for-2 still means that it's a 2-for-1 because I get to draw.
Yeah, I don't hate it. No. What were your extra ratios?
I was just running 3-3 to I think pot is the only thing that I was running. Like not 3. Oh, never mind. I had 3 Link Rebo, 2 Pentastag, 2 Honeypot, 2 Transcode, 3 Link Spider, and 3 Decode.
Gotcha. That was more like In hindsight, I think I would have, like, if I was to change one thing, I would flip one Pentastag and one transcode into like third copy of Link Reborn, Link Spider, but I was more optimistic in getting more of my other stuff, and I was only running one scapegoat. I had a second one in the side deck, so I guess I was like more being more optimal with like optimistic, sorry, with like how I would get to that stuff, but also I was like I said, like a little bit justifying it with Signet Universe just because that could shuffle back my stuff into the extra, and I also like thought that Signet Universe, because it was like for your Link monsters, when like a lot of our like big payoffs are gonna be literally the exact same things, it might end up actually mattering the like small 300 boost. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that was definitely a good read. Also, the fact that you can use it to pop your opponent's extra monster zone monster is good as well.
yeah,
Because you can do that without any kind of response really being possible, because it just sends them.
yeah, and you can do it with your own MSDs or even Link Slayer. I was only playing one Link Slayer though. I think
I
you
felt
were
like
playing two. Yeah,
yeah, I think Link Slayer is a huge swing.
it's
Mostly
very
because the
good.
fact that like
For me, it was like mostly just the, well, it is a side, so it's like I don't ever want to see more of it in my hand than one, which was mostly the issue. Like you can summon it with the like stuff that obviously like widgets that summon cybers from your hand, but I deemed it to be like not relevant enough to run it, because like the cost of discarding stuff, I figured like when you're, especially when you're using like something like widget kit, you're already using stuff from your hand, so I deemed it to be like I don't think I'd ever want to see multiples in my hand, so that's why I basically, it was a starter that could be a like decent going second card, because either you threaten like your opponent needs to immediately rip one of the like a bottomless or a torrential on it, or they just lose them to the effect, and obviously you don't even spend your normal summon on it. So
yeah, that's partially why I felt like it's good to run at least two of it, because obviously bottomless just kills it, and if you just kill with bottomless, if I have a second one, you have to expend more resources again, and probably it's gonna be some resources that you don't want to expend on this. You don't want to be getting rid of a Link Slayer with like what's it called? Fuck. With the torrential alone, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. And even for like Fiendish Chain, if I'm not using the effect, using the Fiendish Chain on Link Slayer is just a net loss, because you just link it off anyway.
yep.
But specifically, like in the first game when I managed to get a Fiendish Chain off on your Link Slayer, that was huge. Like you discarded two, you went -3 essentially for me to just go like, no,
Yep.
you can't do that.
Yeah, the
And
first game
that
was definitely like
immediately
you just had the back row to deal with my stuff, which is like I was
huge.
talking about it in the deck breakdown as well, where it was like there was, I mean, that's been a case for what I feel like for the longest time now with the starter decks, where most of the power tends to be in the back row, which is just you just have
Yep.
all the crazy stuff there.
I think that's a really good thing for people that are into the game, because starter deck having Monster Reborn, having Fiendish Chain, having Dark Hole, Bottomless, Torrential, those are really huge.
Yep.
But for playing it in like a ghost format, it becomes like, so how many power cards can we put in here? How many of the 20 extremely powerful spells and traps can we fit in here while making it consistent and have all of them actually have value? That's cool in a way, but it
Yep.
also makes it so that the monsters themselves are a little less relevant.
Yep. I would agree. But
Also, Scapegoat in this, like, I think Scapegoat is a funny card in this, but I'm kind of glad we can't get into it through any other means.
yeah, I mean, it's like later when you get stuff like the nightmares that doesn't even, I don't think the nightmares even require effect monster in just 2 monsters or 3 monsters. There's a reason why Scapegoat was on the limited list, and why a lot of stuff like Grinder Golem and shit that just gave you tokens was like straight up banned for the Dawn of the Link era.
I mean,
But-
Grinder Golem also, because Grinder Golem is infinite.
Yeah, that is. I mean,
If you could-
that's the case with a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah,
But-
they just consider, oh, getting tokens in exchange for summoning a monster to your opponent's side of the field, that's stupid. Who would do that? And then they make a mechanic that is literally like, hey guys, we're gonna let you use tokens to summon out your biggest boss monsters. Have fun.
Yep.
There's another card in Code of the Duelist that they did, like, it's not present in the set, but you can legacy into it, which is the poster child for exactly this.
Which is a good segue, because that's what we're going to be recording immediately after this. So that's your introduction to the Link era. And already, like, even with the limitations we had with these decks, and obviously, like, at the start, like, we're going to be playing under Master Rule 4, like, you can see how much higher this, I mean, not how much higher the ceiling is, because obviously with Pendulum, the ceiling was already, like, up here. Yeah. But, like, in general, like, let's ignore, obviously, Master Rule 3 Pendulum Summoning. We all know it was broken. So you can still see, like, how consistently high the ceiling is going to be for the Link era. But this was, as a starter episode should be, this was the small taste of the what's there to come. But anything else you want to get off your chest before we close off this episode? I go immediately to record the other one.
Bro, the next set is gonna be hell.
Jeexx said that there are 3 potential decks, and he's promised that he's gonna play the funny one. So you should turn up next week to see what the funny deck is.
Turn up next week to get your game on, guys.
There are heroes in the set, so yeah. There might be +1 to the counter. But to see that, you need to be here for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching this one, though. And I feel like it was, like, for a starter deck episode, like, some stuff was happening. So that was cool.
Honestly, this is, like, the best starter deck episode we've had in terms of, like, showcasing what the game
He only says that because he won 2-0.
I'm saying that because we got to showcase both of our decks. We got to showcase how strong back row is and how weak to disruption links are in their current iteration of the year 1 links. And from here on out, we're going to see a lot more of this. And we're obviously going to be fishing for a lot more of really potent disruption that is going to be generic, easily useful, easily usable, and also maybe easily legacyable.
Yep. That is true.
And I think nowadays, like, modern links don't give a fuck about that anymore. No cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Give a fuck about a card that says destroy and send to the graveyard. No, man, what the fuck?
Target a
you
card
gotta negate that
and
shit.
Send it to the grave. Target a card, and if you do, destroy it.
Lamau.
Retweet to
Retweet
to scare someone in the 2010s. I'm still terrified. Personally, I'm still terrified.
Right, Geki, right.
But yeah, we'll Raigeki break our kneecaps with the Code of the Duelist, and you should join us there to see what sort of shenanigans we go up to. What do I never do a proper salute. Why did I do this now? Thank you for watching. We will see you in Code of the Duelist, which should be next week for y'all, but for us it's gonna be in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna be wearing the exact same thing. Don't flame me for it. We will see you there. So have a great rest of your day, and peace.